Just when you think you've heard it all, there is this. In fact, when I read this tonight, I thought this was the craziest thing that I had ever heard, especially coming from the president. This is what the New York Times is reporting. Okay, listen closely. And it's based on interviews. The New York Times is reporting it. It's based on interviews with more than a dozen White House and administration officials directly involved, okay? That last March, when the president was considering shutting down the border and outraged at not being able to deliver on his signature campaign promise, remember, build that wall. Well, the president suggested shooting migrants in the legs to slow them down. That's not you got to hear the rest. Here's the rest. Quote, privately, the president had often talked about fortifying a border wall with a water-filled trench stocked with snakes or alligators, prompting aides to seek a cost estimate. He wanted the wall electrified with spikes on top that could pierce human flesh. After publicly suggesting that soldiers shoot migrants if they threw rocks, the president backed off when his staff told him that was illegal. But later, in a meeting, aides recalled he suggested that they shoot migrants in the legs to slow them down. That's not allowed either, they told him. Again, sounds hard to believe, doesn't it? Did Dr. Evil come up with that? We reached out to the White House for a response when the story broke. But I gotta tell you, it sounds crazy, right? But just remember this, okay? Months before he even said all of this, we reported on this. Remember, the president tweeted out a picture of what he wanted his barrier to look like, including spiked steel slats. Seriously, Mr. President? What is the matter with you? A moat full of snakes or alligators? That's some Harry Potter stuff. I mean, it's not funny, but it's just laughable. The mind boggles. Although something about that sounds familiar.
They said we needed to triple the Border Patrol. Or now they're going to say we need to quadruple the Border Patrol. Or they'll want a higher fence. Maybe they'll need a moat. Maybe they want alligators in the moat. They'll never be satisfied.
That's why he hates him, because he's got his number. He has your number. That's why you talk about him all the time. He's got you down pat. Wow. Look, it sounds ridiculous because it is. And there is more. The president reportedly berating then Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen, saying, quote, Lou Dobbs hates you. Ann Coulter hates you. You're making me look bad. The ultimate sin in this president's eyes. You're making me look bad. Going on to say this about the legal authority to take down drones. Quote, Kirsten, you didn't hear me the first time, honey. Shoot him down, sweetheart. Just shoot him out of the sky, okay? The president unconcerned there with both illegality and obviously sexism. Honey, sweetheart. Blasting senior advisor and son-in-law Jared Kushner, saying, all you care about is your friends in Mexico. I've had it. I want it done at noon tomorrow. Just imagine the number of people, former members of Team Trump, who've heard this kind of thing from the President of the United States, who are now on the outside of this administration as the impeachment inquiry looms. But all of this illustrates a much larger point here. The president told the Times this summer, and I quote, "I have absolute power to shut down the border." And that's what all of this is about. This president believes he has absolute power to do whatever he wants. And that's why we are here right now. That's where we are.